Good morning. It's good to be with you.
I want to ask you specifically to the issue that's been brought up so many times this week on the Affordable Care Act. You questioned her, the judge, on Wednesday and pointed out that she had been critical of the Chief Justice's ruling in a case. What else did you learn from the response from Judge Barrett?
Well, it was an interesting thing anyway. As you know, I was chairman of that committee for a number of years and ranking for a few others. I had an awful lot of hearings with judges and with Supreme Court justices. I've never seen one like this. She seems to have no opinion on certain things, even though she's written a great deal about it. Uh, she she has passed actually a litmus test. She's told us that she's criticized the Affordable Care Act, and she does admit to that because, of course, we have the written statement she's made. She has never defended it. She has never defended women's right to choose. She won't say whether IVF, which is often used today, is a crime, as some of her supporters say it is. It was really a strange hearing.
Well, how does her reluctance to answer specifics on cases and cases that may become before the court, how do those responses compare to recent Supreme Court hearings, both the Republican appointees of President Trump and the Democratic appointees of Barack Obama?
I think the fact that she doesn't want to talk about a possible pending case, I have no problem with that. That's appropriate. But we were talking about cases that she has decided, statements she has made, writings she has made, and she doesn't want to go into those. And of course, what you have is, and this is probably not her fault, but you have the president saying over and over again, I'm going to put this person on the Supreme Court so that she will vote to do away with the Affordable Care Act, do away with the coverage of pre-existing conditions, and then went further to say, I want her on the court because if I have to contest this election in the courts, I want somebody who's going to rule with me. I'm summarizing what he has said in numerous tweets, and that's not an easy job to summarize Donald Trump's tweets, but he's made it very clear. He expects her to rule with him on the Affordable Care Act, and he expects her to defend him before the court if there's a contest on the election. And I asked her, I said, can you state, and we have cases that go back into the 1700s, that the president is not above the law. The president, for example, cannot pardon himself. And she did not want to respond to that, even though we're talking about over 200 years of settled law. That concerned me. Go ahead.
Your Republican colleagues spent a good part of the week talking about the qualifications of Judge Barrett to rise to the Supreme Court. What concerns, if any, do you have about her qualifications?
Well, she is on a circuit court. She's been a professor at Notre Dame and certainly more qualified than a lot of the judges at the other courts that the White House has sent up. She does not match the qualifications of a Ginsburg, and I think she'd be one that would admit that. But that's not so much the point. What has happened here is first you had the Republican leadership say you will not have a nominee heard in an election year. And so they blocked Merrick Garland, a judge that numerous Republicans as well as Democrats said they would support. It would have been a very consensus nominee. But because President Obama nominated him, the Mitch McConnell and the Republican leadership said, "Oh, we can't do this. We've never had a judge in an election year when the president's of one party and the Senate of the other party." Well, of course, we have had. I mean, for example, Ronald Reagan nominated Anthony Kennedy. The Democratic-controlled Senate confirmed him nearly unanimously in an election year. And then, of course, the chairman of the committee, Lindsey Graham, said, "You can take me at my word. We will not have a hearing if we've gone past the time of the preliminaries leading up to the election and all." And of course, he went back on that and immediately said, "Here, we've had the conventions. We know who the nominees are. We're not going to wait until the election. We're going to break all precedent. We're going to break all rules, and we're going to ram this nominee through before the election."
Well, let me ask you on the election. Do you think Republicans, particularly in the Senate, will pay a price at the polls over this nomination?
Well, I think the whole country pays a price in this way. I think that the Senate, which is supposed to be the conscience of the nation, has been badly diminished by breaking its own rules, by having its leaders break their word over and over again to the American people and to their fellow senators. That's diminished the Senate. But I also think so politicizing this in the way Donald Trump has is going to hurt the credibility of the courts. You know, we have to assume that the Supreme Court is credible and the federal courts are credible. The respect that people normally have for the courts is going to be greatly diminished. I've tried cases in trial courts and appellate courts. I even had one that went up to the Supreme Court. I never thought, as I went into those courtrooms, well, you know, they're going to be slanted this way or that way depending upon my politics. Never have. Today, everybody's going to be wondering, am I politically okay to go into a courtroom? And that's going to hurt the country.
Senator Patrick Leahy joining us this morning, the former chair, the former ranking member of the Judiciary Committee. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Good to be with you.